Hey guys, it's October and nothing says Halloween like a Halloween hermit crab. And want to see something really scary? This trumpet coral is very unhappy. Look at the stingers trying to get that green singularity. I'm really enjoying the softy tank. The colors, the movement, and the ease of running the system. I mean, really, I just stick my hand in there, move stuff around, and everything's got a pretty good sting, but everything's also able to take a pretty good sting. So I have this system tied in with my main system, but when I had these corals in my main display, um, there was some issues with the SPS. This one was too close to that one, and in here I can just kind of pile them on top of each other, as you see, and really, it just works. And the colors, I mean, that's a big Colt coral there. It's kind of a pretty version of a Kenya tree with a heavier stalk. And, look at the green star polyps, and the color I get on them, and the length of them, how they're just blowing in the breeze there. Then you'll notice I have some micro bubbles in this tank, and I'm not bubble scrubbing. I haven't fine-tuned the water yet. There's my rock flower nem that I got from Reef. Processing, the water's moving a little too fast through my sump, having all these tanks tied in. But it's all working. I still am seeing zero nitrates, very, very little phosphates on the URL checker. So still running ultra low. And I even have a hang on the back filter on this system with a little carbon in it, just to take care of a lot of this warfare that's going on between them. And just look how happy that little pipefish is. He's just always pecking away at the rocks there. So this has just been an enjoyable system. I do still love my 100 gallon, with the more SBS in it. But this one's just very enjoyable and stress-free. So if you're looking for a stress-free aquarium, make sure you put a lot of softies in there. And, that's just my opinion. So I got a little story. You may have noticed the little yellow-tailed damsel that was in there. Well, first let me talk about, I got some things from Amazon. The first thing I'm going to show you is just a simple strainer that goes into a bulkhead. So in other words, if you have a slip bulkhead, you can order these in the size. This one happens to be 1 inch. And you just slip it right into the bulkhead if you have an exposed one. And that's what I have in my frag tank. So you don't even have to glue it. And if something breaks loose, or it'll keep snails from going out of a simple bulkhead overflow. So let's talk about the new frag tank here. It's still a little unorganized, but it's a place to put coral frags. There's the slip bulkhead strainer there, and it's installed. It's a place to put the frags without cluttering up your displays with frag racks. And yeah, I'm still working on getting them out, but Billy Pipes he's one of those friends that pushes you out of your comfort zone a little bit. So he said, oh, you need a frag tank. So this is the frag tank that Billy talked me into. Not talked me into. And this is also the tank that used to be reefing with O's Red Sea sump. So I appreciate both you guys. Now, you guys know I have this 5-in-1 stick that I talk about all the time, and it comes with a glass scraper, but it's not like a sharp blade. It's just a piece of metal on there, and it's kind of blunt, and it doesn't really work really well. So I've always admired the one that Paul uses on Reefing Community Worldwide. So I went out and I got this from Amazon, and I think it was quite inexpensive. I'm going to leave a link because you really can't read what it says on it, but it's a stainless steel 26-inch aquarium scraper. And of course you need to have a glass tank. This won't work on an acrylic tank because it is an actual razor blade. So it has some stainless steel pieces. You can just use it, a shorter version of it, just by screwing the handle on it. and there's two little set screws at the end, and it comes with one razor blade. So I'm trying to find a source for these razor blades because I'm sure you're going to need to replace them often. I ordered a bunch of straight razors like you have in an old-fashioned razor, you know, for shaving. And now that I see this one, I don't think those are going to work, and they didn't come in with the same order. So another thing, if you've got the kind of fish that rush at you when you put something in the tank, you might want to be very careful with this because it's just an exposed razor. So here I'm showing you, on a lot of things the mag float with the scraper does work, but it is nice to get in there with this tool and just do what you need to do. You also need to be aware of your silicone seams because, again, it is a razor. I'm sure you could just unsilicone a tank with this if you weren't paying attention. So yes, it works on this softer stuff, but then I decided I'd try and use it on the coralline algae that's growing on the back, which doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me so much, but you think about all the two-part I'm putting in there to help this stuff grow. I just wanted to see if I could cut through it, and this thing definitely is the tool for that. As you can see, I also have all of those fan worms and little, you know, things that make that calcified casing around them, and they're all coming right off. So this made the video update take a little longer because the tank water got really dirty. Now look at how this Garf bonsai has colored up in my tank. You know, I wasn't even sure if it was one when I bought the colony, and it really colored up good. Everything in here is doing really, really well. And as you can see, the colors. And I call it my SPS tank, and yes, that's a big hunk of Euphilia there. I've even got a big hunk of zoanthids right here. A couple of acan frags. I was just knocking them around so they're not looking as fluffy as they usually do. And then over there on the right is a walking dendro. So it's not one of those flashy corals, but it's definitely interesting because every time you look in the tank, it's someplace else. There's a little peanut worm that moves it around. So that's pretty cool. And there's my clam. He's still hanging in there. I've had him a couple of months now, so I'm kind of proud of myself. When I first got it, everybody says, "Oh no, don't get a little clam, they're so hard." So I'm glad he's still with us. So I'm really enjoying the tank. It's really doing well. It's starting to get crowded again, but I mean, I might let some of these things grow into each other, like to be more natural. A couple of the frags, you know, you heard me say that I always love to get those little brown frags, and some of them are just purple up with little bright green tips and polyps on them. And some of the just regular green stuff like this Montipora confusa with the purple polyps, it really just grows and pops. There's a little Hawkins echinata I just got. So that's hanging in there. Let's see what that can grow into. But it's all just really enjoyable. Again, it's doing well. So I've been thinking about, since the channel's name is Dave's Nano Tanks, I got a little 1x1x1 cube from Billy Pipes that he used to use for an ATO. I'm thinking about doing a DIY complete little nano setup on that. So let me know in the comments if you guys think that's something you'd want to see. I mean, I plan on taking all the silicone out, stripping the tank down, making it an all-in-one, and maybe even doing some DIY lighting and just making a little softy nano for the winter time. So let me know what you think about that. And other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.